All right, this is brief exercise 14-3. Bonita Company has issued a $220,000 8% bond uh, on January 1st, 2017. Now, the bond is due in 2022, which means it's 5 years. But we also have to look at the interest payments, which are July and January, so that's twice a year. So we have to remember that there's actually 10 essential payments, or we're going to do them twice a year, so half the normal interest rate when we figure out interest and things like that. But the bonds were issued at 99, which means you didn't get the whole 220. You got 220 times 0.99. Extra zeros on there. That means we actually got 217,800. So cash in the door was 217,800. And then the bond is 220, so that's easy. So that's we don't have to do anything on that one. That's the liability that we owe. So really the difference, and you can see it's to make these equal, this side is going to need some more than this side, which tells me it's a discount. Because whenever there's a debit, when we sell a bond, that means it's a discount. If there was a credit, it would be a premium on the bond. And we've got to make the equation equal, so this is just going to be the subtraction of the bond by the market rate, so it's 220. So that's our first entry in figuring out the cash that we received. But now we have a couple other entries that we have to receive, because that was the January 1st, 2017 entry. Now, when we pay our first interest on July 1st, 2017, we got to record things a little bit differently there. We're going to figure out what our interest expense is, and if you remember, our interest expense is based on the market rate. But in this particular case, the market rate is 8%, the bond is 8%. We just got less on it because we don't see an actual interest rate up here. So we've got to use the discount on bonds payable to actually calculate what our interest expense is. So we stick to what we know, which is going to be the actual cash out the door for the interest expense. That's the first thing we do. And so that's going to be the 220 times the 8%. But then we're going to do half of that, 0.5, because it's paid semi-annually. So the interest should be the bond times the interest rate times the semi-annually portion means 8,800. So our credit's going to be 8,800 out the door. Now we got to figure out this discount on bonds payable because it's going to get amortized or reduced every single time we pay interest. So since there are 5 years and 2 payments a year, we're going to take that 2,200 amount that we originally got for our discount on bonds payable. We're going to take that, we're going to divide it by 5, we're going to divide it by 2, and we'll come up with, per interest period, we're going to reduce that discount on bond payable. So you'll see it starts out at 2,200. We're going to reduce it every period for the next 10 times, 220. And so therefore our interest expense balances the equation, and we have 9020 is our interest expense. So that's the January or the July 1st transaction. Now we got to do the December 31st transaction, which the assumptions here again are it's December 31st. You don't pay until January 1st of 2018. So really you're just going to record the interest payable. So that's the first easy one to know, and that is totally the cash entry again. So it's exactly the same since there's no changes to this. So it's 8,800 that we'll be paying the very next day after December 31st, and we'll get rid of this payable. But right now we're recording at year end, and our discount on bond payable we said was the $220, just like it was before, and then 9,020 for the interest expense. And that's it for problem 14-3.